great again.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Now, woo.
We're coming. Get our check.
Cheryl Morrow, the one, the only, the hair oracle.
Well, I think it was Red Dot, and then we also had a cosmetology school instructor in the chat, Miss Denise West, Michelle Allen, Miss Foster. Dang, I missed your name. It's always nice to see Miss Foster in the chat. Michelle Allen, you know how much we love you too.
What? About a whole lot of peace. Cheryl, you order that in a bag of chips. Let me do your hand. What's happening, good people? How are you guys doing out there? It's Labor Day, right? It's Labor Day. I kept saying Memorial Day, and it was like, no, it's not Memorial Day. You know, afterwards you get old, they all just kind of, they all sound alike. You know what I'm saying? So we hope you guys are having one heck of a holiday. It's the official day off, right? We got this legal holiday that we can just be off and eat all the food that we want to eat and, drink all the wine we want to drink and go to the funnel cakes and all that other good stuff, right? No?
Something like that.
Something like that. What did you guys eat for the holidays? I went to the Geauga County Fair with Chrissy and Coos and RDT. We just can't seem to shake each other. We work together 5 days a week. You would think we might be kind of like tired of each other, but I guess not. So we went to the Berea Fairgrounds. I ate.
What?
And I ate cotton candy. I had hot dogs and French fries and sausage and, just getting a bite here and a bite there because you just can't eat all of that. But the lemonade was really good. So it's still going on. They had rides and the kids were on the merry-go-round. So, it's that time of the year. We were in Trump territory. Yeah, Geauga County is Trump Nation, baby. They over there. That's the orange man hideout. You know what I'm saying? But that's okay. It's okay. That's just what we do here in these parts. Cheryl, what have you done so far for the day?
Rest.
It's Labor Day. It's Labor Day. I've been watching a lot. Anybody else just sits on YouTube and consume like all of the documentaries that your brain can like take in? Anybody else a nerd like that? What's going on, Gigi? What's up, LB? We see you in the chat. Yes, I did have some bologna this morning. That was my breakfast. Our virtual co-host Sandra E is there. And Gigi said y'all got together. Y'all had some hot dogs, ribs, and hamburgers. You should have invited me over, girl. Hot dogs and bologna. That's my favorite food,
I get down like that. I gets down like that.
Yes. But if you're one of those people who really likes to, smash down on some knowledge on YouTube, let me know. Share some of your stuff, what you watch in the chat. But I've been watching, because it's Labor Day. So they have all the YouTubers putting up all the, documentaries and little short videos about the right to work 8 hours. And it's funny because in the beginning, it was the immigrants that fought and died for us to be able to work 8 hours because what's the man's name? What's the man's name who did the railroad? Was it J.P. Morgan? J.P. Morgan and them? I think it was J.P. Morgan and the Rockefellers. Hey, them cats was like, die, because we want you guys to work. Children were outside holding signs to say, we don't want to work. We want to go to school because back in those days, children did not go to school. They worked. And immigrants, were just the Irish, those Irish, good Lord. They and the Germans, yeah, everybody was coming over from what was that? Italy, and they were working in the textile mills. You know what I'm saying, Cheryl? All this industry was happening, right?
Absolutely.
Around that time, America was moving from agriculture to industry. As a matter of fact, that was the fight between the blacks and the whites because they were like the black people was working for cheaper than the white people, and the unions and stuff started. Notice there ain't no unions no more. You guys got to think about this stuff. You got to really, really.
I think there's unions, but
Not like they used to be.
no, not like they used to be, sis.
No, I don't have anybody in the chat in the union. They old gray hair ain't what it used to be. So it's Labor Day, and you guys gotta, you gotta watch some of this stuff. Especially now, all this immigration. I'm like, everybody's an immigrant. What's what that fool talking about? He's still up there clowning. You know what I'm saying?
Big time.
He big time. He ain't gonna stop. I just read that Kid Rock and Scott Baio. Kid Rock said, "I'm not selling any music in California," and Scott Baio said, "I'm not working in California." And Gavin Newsom said, "I know I'm doing something right." Gavin Newsom.
Scott Baio.
Gavin Newsom does not even care, honey. And
bye.
I know this is petty, but Gavin Newsom is fine. I ain't know, but he's a hunk of chocolate burning love. But Gavin Newsom, like, yeah, whatever, cashmere sweat. Okay? He's like, get on up out of here. Don't nobody care, all right? So we are 171 episodes in tonight. You know what it's about, guys? Low maintenance hairstyles. Is that going to be fact or fiction? Is there a such thing? Now, last week, we did something very special we never get a chance to do. And what we are going to do in September, every Thursday, is we're going to give a shout out to one of our subscribers, because Cheryl said we need to do this. And we will put the link in the chat on Thursdays. So any subscriber that wants to hop in the chat on Thursday, you could just hop in. You don't have to show your face, but if you say something crazy, we will click you off, because we ain't trying to get shut down on YouTube.
And by the way, happy Hair Loss Awareness Month.
Happy Hair Loss Awareness Month. That's what September is about. All right. I did not know that. All right. So that's what we're going to focus on this month, right here on the dumbest shit that people say about black hair. We are going to be focusing on, this whole thing around low maintenance. So today we're going to be defining, what is low maintenance and talking about it, right? And then we're going to come back next Monday and we're going to talk about locks. So we're going to pick out the most popular hairstyles that the public have been led to believe, or maybe they do believe, or maybe they say it is actual low maintenance hair. So we're going to walk you guys through it. Now, remember, on this platform, it is specific to the consumers, and we want you guys to use the power of your time and your money so that you can get the best results for your hair. Because Cheryl and I, when we first started this podcast, we just couldn't take it no more. So the debate is still out on who came up with the name, but I'm telling y'all right now, Cheryl came up with the name, the dumbest shit that people say about black hair. Now, I don't care what she said. We went through this. So you said it first.
I don't even remember who said what. I tell you what, we did agree that we did mean the dumbest.
And we do mean the dumbest. Look, we said at the same time. And the reason why this is so important to us, guys, because I mean, it's so overwhelming that we had to do a podcast. I'm also going to be writing an article like once a month. So if you look on LinkedIn, what's up, LinkedIn? Because that's where the scholars at, right?
Yeah, that's where they at,
As well. What's up, LinkedIn? All the scholars, the smart people over on LinkedIn. So if you go over to LinkedIn, I actually wrote an article about this month's theme. So we're going to be doing that the last 6 months of the month. I will make sure I take some time out to set the tone for what Cheryl and I were trying to do here to help you guys understand, like today, is it fact or is it fiction that low maintenance hairstyles, is that even achievable? Is it attainable? And why are people actually even looking for it is what we want to know. We want to know what that's all about. But in the meantime, we got to hook y'all up with what's happened with the Fête du jour. There it is. It happened yesterday. Our DJ, Danny, the other DJ, our teenage DJ, she had to go to work yesterday. So her uncle, DJ 216, went on ahead and filled in for us. And there's Zaki back there. This was a very posh Swelligant event. It went down really good.
So
There he
white
is, Mr. Zaki. He's the owner. You guys may recall we interviewed him about 2 weeks ago, right here on Planet Pluto Pseudo, and we talked about salon deserts. And so he has an actual salon studio. And when I tell you this baby is posh, this event was this had to be by far our most swelligant fete du jour. And cosmetologists, barbers. Again, we showed up and we showed out. It was absolutely wonderful. I do have a little reel in case y'all want to see what it looked like on the inside. So here goes a little reel of Frequency Hair Studios grand opening, hosted by the Fete du jour, the industry's Fete du jour. Here we go.
My life be like, yeah. My life be like, yeah. Yeah. My life be like, yeah. My life be like times like these that make me say, yeah. Lord, if you see me, please come my way. Like leaving breadcrumbs for when I stray. Yeah. A lot of sacrifice in the price you pay. Like living like.
Nice.
All right. I keep telling y'all there is no divide in our industry. I had a chance to have a couple of minutes on the mic, and I said, anybody in here ever seen New Jack City? And so everybody in the house was like, yeah. I said, okay, when I say this, I want y'all know what to say, right? When they talking about there's a divide in the beauty industry, because we're going to be talking about that. That's going to be our theme over on Planet Pluto Pseudo, because now this right here, we had to digress from our regular schedule, because me and Cheryl was like, we's not going to let this happen. They already doing it with that SBA and ADOS and against Pan-Africanism and all. Listen here, y'all, we don't have, I feel like it's the government that's doing this. I really do. I feel like it's a plant. They're putting people inside of our communities to divide us. Because I ain't never heard no hairstylist talk about some people who work in the lofts are better than people that work in the hair salons, and hair salons are outdated and they're no longer needed, and barbershops are better than hair salons. Like, when did we start doing this? Like, we have, I mean, remember we went to the Browner Brothers show and you were telling me how it looked when you were your dad and everybody. And do you recall some type of a split between a booth renter or a salon owner and a franchise and a
wasn't even talked about. They talked about it in terms of solving the problems of that where they were confronting at that point. But they didn't split themselves up in terms of
one
is better model, one is a better way of earning money inside of the industry. No way.
No, it was like it's an employment solution. You know, if you want to work this kind of a job, you go work at this salon.
Right, you want that cash solved. You want that problem solved, and no one can help us solve it like someone who's in it with you.
Is anybody in the chat familiar? Are you guys hearing any of this? And I know why it's coming up on our feed, because AI, clearly. But just, we couldn't have it. So anywho, let me know if you guys are familiar with this lingo, this language that's going around saying that, the stylists, lofts better and barbershops don't have a problem with that hairstylist salons. I mean, all this crazy cockamamie stuff. But anywho, I said, now when I say this, y'all know what to say, right? I said this, y'all, CMB, and they said, we all we got.
That's right.
Y'all remember that G Money? He was smoking on that crack. CMB, we all we got. We all we got, y'all.
That's right.
It's not the time. We can't be. That's why we're talking about the dumbest shit that people say about black hair, because this is not helping the people. And somebody's got to grab that bull by the horn, and we got to lay it down. Bottom line,
we here to tell the truth, according to proof.
Gigi, you said you hadn't heard it. It's everywhere. I mean, every time everybody's got something to say. Oh, you got to go and don't open up a hair salon. We want you to buy commercial space and open up hair. They got this term called open floor hair. I'm like, what is that? You know,
That
they
was
even
an open floor.
they even added some lingo to it. I'm like, open floor.
Oh, yeah, right there. And wordsmithed it, huh?
Yeah, they done wordsmithed it like, you know, and the loft is better. And I'm like, it's a choice. You know, this is America. You can work however you want to work. You know, you can still gonna pay you.
Dryer and a shampoo bowl. Bed.
Yeah. At the end of the day, that's what's going to be in either space. But anywho, we digress. But still, that's going to be our topic. We're going to focus on that next month. We're going to critique that conversation. We're going to definitely use some video clips. We do have some people that's coming on. We have the natural hair braiders. They're going to be coming on. We got some wonderful people that's going to be on next month. So get ready and you know, just join the discourse. We're gonna have a good time. But today we're gonna, you know, stay focused on low maintenance hairstyles. So we're firing on all cylinders. And so let's get it going on. Okay, Cheryl. So what I'm gonna do, Cheryl, is I'm gonna pull up what AI says low maintenance hairstyles. Now I put a question mark because we want to know is it fact or fiction. So while I pull up what AI says, I want to know if everybody in the chat, if you can drop in your response, do you think low maintenance the natural hairstyles, or just hairstyles in general, maybe, you know, subscribe to natural, is that a fact or is that a fiction? You know, so I'm gonna go up here right quick, and share my screen.
Okay.
Yeah, that food did sound good, girl. Yes, it did. And let's show what they're saying about low maintenance.
Maintenance hairstyles.
Okay. All right. So remember now, AI kind of sets the tone for what it is that we say this stuff is. And right quick, Cheryl, can you just remind people how the AI comes up with this stuff that we look up, just to help people, you know, understand?
Right. AI is nothing artificial because it takes what has been put in through content, articles, posts, word spiders, keywords. It takes all of the articles that have been written in native websites, newspaper websites, anything that has had a bit of what we call intel, information, any words, and they put it all together and they use those keywords to find the definitions according to your prompt or according to what you put in the search engine.
Mm-hmm.
And that comes from humans. So I don't know how artificial it is. It may be a bot in a computer summing up most of the consensus of what it is, but it does come from other people.
All right. So that doesn't make it like word is bond. That doesn't, because I think what we want to make sure is that we don't want you guys to get duped into thinking that everything you see on AI is the real deal, Holyfield. Am I correct, Cheryl?
Well, not only that, why is this podcast called The Dumbest Shit? Because we have caught humans.
Okay. We've caught humans.
And
now
the information that AI is gathering comes from humans. So, with that being said, I don't know why we're hyper fixated on AI versus hyper fixated on human putting things wrong together, myths, bad information, misinformation, disinformation. But on all of a sudden we get to AI. Oh, you better check. You know, yeah, we do have to check everything, and that's why we have the podcast, because we checking your ass. Now
we have to understand that there's a precursor to this AI thing. And I just learned this myself. You know, I watched some other. I told you I've been on YouTube just watching too much stuff. So come to find out, a lot of this, how we're falling down the rabbit hole of natural hair and natural, you know, all this 4C hair. There's a precursor to this. There's a man by the name of Edward Bernays, and he was the nephew of what's the man name who was this famous psychologist? You know, everybody. Not Freud, Sigmund Freud. He was Sigmund Freud's nephew, and they claim that he was the father of public relations. Now, I've always been fascinated by public relations, but come to find out, that's not such a good thing because that's really social engineering. Have you heard of that, Cheryl?
I have heard of both of them, but not quite put together like that.
Yeah. So,
Like,
are you familiar with social engineering?
yes, I am.
Okay, so just I'm gonna pull up Edward. So you guys, what they say, don't cook it up, look it up, all right? Because we want you guys to see the backdrop of how we are taking stuff to the hilt. You know, we this like, you know what they say? They say you can't, black folks that out religion, white folks in their religion. Now we done out public relation them and what they done made up. You see what I'm saying? So I'm gonna show a picture of Edward Bernays. And so Cheryl's going to tell you guys a little bit about social engineering, because our goal is for you guys to understand that, you know, at the end of the day, and we ain't no different, right? Everybody trying to sell y'all something, and we got to eat. So we're not knocking that, but you just got to be more careful. Right. So Cheryl, I want to pull up Edward Bernays, and can you talk a little bit about social engineering as we go into the topic of low maintenance hairstyle factor fiction? And we already see that low maintenance is falling under the protective hairstyle category off the rip. You already said it. These are protective hairstyles. All right. I'll click back to that if you just want to see it again. But here is, let me just share this right quick. So here is, oh, no, that ain't it. Sorry, I clicked the wrong one. Okay. So here is, I forgot. It makes me stop and then share. Okay. All right. So let me show you Edward Bernays. So he is the father of public relations. And again, this is Sigmund Freud's. Okay. He looked kind of like a brother. Wait a minute, Cheryl. I don't know. Nah, I'm just, that's some lookership, y'all. Boy, I tell you, I don't know, Cheryl. I think this might be black for real. He looked like my Uncle Anthony, y'all. I'm just saying.
Right.
So he is Vienna, Austria, Hungarian. That's his mixture, his ethnicity. Edward Bernays, again. So he is the nephew of Sigmund Freud. And so here it goes. He talks about, he is referred to as the father of public relations. And so his techniques have been criticized for manipulating public opinion, often in ways that undermined autonomy and democratic values. So all of this, bye. This guy is the father of why we just cannot stop selling y'all so much shit. All right, Cheryl. So talk about social engineering, okay? A little bit, just to get y'all wet y'all whistle as we get into the topic.
Oh my God.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, and let me just say this. In my opinion, no time other than maybe the season of 2000, Y2K, has there been a shift from black hair care industrial ownership to what we call the black founder.
What's the difference?
Well, the black founder, we didn't call John Johnson or S.B. Fuller or Joe Dudley, Bronner Brothers, or Summit Product. We didn't call them black founders, because black in the word hair care, black hair care industry already implied that we were black. So to begin to social engineer the fact that the white world was not helping in an affirmative action way or a DEI kind of way, that they were being ignored, really was the start of the flux of what we call the entrepreneur era in black hair care or in natural hair care. And that's where you get all of these kitchen, I had a dream, or I started up my own product line And then they got the machine started to rebrand into the public of social engineering, that now the world was going to celebrate the Black founder because they had been long forgotten. And therefore, we were going to give you millions of dollars in seed money to get you on the shelves of Whole Foods and Walmart and Target. And then, of course, the push after George Floyd, we're really going to push to get to help these Black founders and then recapture the equity. And that's how social engineering, because the machine helped build what we call a Black founder. Now,
right. I hope y'all didn't miss that. I mean, and it says it right here, so I got to interrupt you. It says, while credited with advancing the profession of public relation, his techniques have been criticized for manipulating public opinion. So during the George Floyd, his death, unfortunately, they actually utilized his death to pretend as if they were going to help Black people out, and the manipulation of us believing that helping these companies would somehow help us and liberate us from or to our hair is the epitome of social engineering, because Cheryl just said we had an industrial complex that was
already ours.
Come on, guys.
Yeah, because it's so funny, because when you mention, and just for the sake of the conversation, you mentioned Madam C.J. Walker, and she's the first, female millionaire.
Right.
Right?
Right.
She was Black, right?
Right.
And that was 1915, 1916, 1920, blah, 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 right? But you would swear that if she's the first, but when we go into 2000, we're selling it as if we're the first to do that, when we know that Madam C.J. Walker had existed, and Madam Malone, and all the other brands, and Roger Simon, and things of that nature. But somehow, to public relations helps propagandize the message, so you guys will buy more product in thinking that the Black founders were being supported for the first time ever, and that this is the first time this has been done. And so that social engineering kind of socializes the behavior to march as one collective, one population, to manipulate them to do whatever they want them to do.
And they are the actual manufacturers, guys, the billionaires, okay? Just the billionaires, okay?
Or not just the billionaires, it's the VCs.
Yeah,
it's
venture
the accelerators.
Right.
It's the incubators. Now, because they have the finance, because you have to remember, no time in history had no other people but Black people controlled the retail shelf for Black owned and Black governed, Black influenced, Black interest based products.
And we just and so what we want you guys to see is we're just showing you a clear path of, just overt, direct, mental mind schmuckery. And here's the person. I don't care what y'all say. He Black, okay? I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, but I'm not kidding, okay? And it does say it down here. His uncle was psychoanalyst Sigmund Freud, okay? So you guys got to understand that sometimes what you think you're doing is new, or you think is natural. We'll come to find out. Guess what, guys? You are being engineered. You are actually being conditioned. You're being trained. And no place does it better. I mean, we have some great examples, but you have to admit the natural hair movement, they took that social engineering and they took it to a whole nother level. And that's why it kind of falls under that cult like, because if you have and I'm sorry to say fallen for it, because it is a gimmick. It's kind of like, hopefully it'll be liberating, especially now that that whole natural hair movement definitely falls under social engineering. That was not a natural progression of consumers who just, and when you read my article, it is on it's right here on LinkedIn. Please read the article. And it's starting off. What's up, L? What's up, my bosses in the chat? Y'all go ahead and drop them L's right quick. Hold on. We got to do it. We got to drop them L's. Y'all see my boss came. Boss, I was working. I went out. I got me some hot dogs, but I got my butt back to work. Oh, is that Esther? Oh, shit. Hold on now. Y'all know when Esther come through, we got to drop a clap. I don't care what nobody said. We talk about, my hair or something. All right quick. All right, and don't forget L for Lavina and hand clap emojis for our producer. Okay, there she is. So we don't want to be the buzzkill, but we do want to be the buzzkill because again, the money and the ignorance is out of control, and then that leads us to the next one, right? So we see the social engineering, right, guys? We know who's the father of it. Now we got to slide you back over to the Dunning-Kruger effect, because I know what you guys want. We want you guys to deliberately see how the self-appointed or I call autodidacts. Is that correct, Cheryl? It's called, is it diadact or didacts? Okay, autodidacts. They were self-professed to be natural hair experts, whatever. I'm gonna leave that alone. Okay, so that moves us over into the Dunning-Kruger. Okay, so we done went from it's all made up. We then gave you who's the father of making it up. It's Edward Bernays. Now we're going to take you to the Dunning-Kruger. So you're getting the specificity of how these individuals really draw you in with something called low maintenance or natural hairstyle. So Cheryl, I'm going to pull up Dunning-Kruger and you take them away with the Dunning-Kruger effect, because we're going to help y'all get this out. Okay. Take it away, Cheryl. Dunning-Kruger effect.
Okay. So let's say we have a piece of propaganda, braiding hair or extension hair is toxic. And without really great knowledge of the levels and ratios and doses of whatever chemical is in the resin, according to pounds and all of these metrics that takes to understand, a person takes the broad angle. They use that as the anchor of their main expertise. They'll talk about it knowing that they don't know. But because the one that has even lower, which is most consumers, they'll hear him talk or her talk about it, right? And he will be talking as if he's an expert, knowing that he has a very low competence level of the subject matter. And so we find that with what people call textured hair experts or hair loss expert. They'll say these things, and because the consumer that's actually listening, or the hair practitioner that's listening, or whoever's listening, because they know they don't know, the only person who doesn't know is the one who is doing the Dunning-Kruger effect. They think that they can take out of 10 pieces of knowledge, they can have 2, and then the 7 goes to the wayside. And if because they say the 2 so foxy, so sexy, so wonderful, that the whole crowd will think that person knows everything to know. And that has really hurt the natural hair care industry, actually.
And it's saying here just a little bit, I'm adding now. This Cheryl's lane, okay? So I'm just gonna perpetrate, okay? It says this effect is a cognitive bias. Now remember, they already just supposed to, the natural hair, like they already in favor of it. So just off the rip, they ain't gonna say nothing like, well, what do you mean? They don't, no. So there's the bias where people with low ability or competence. Now remember, she just told you they're gonna start making up stuff like 4C and the lowest method.
Hair typing.
Oh, hair typing. And they're going to pull on your emotions because remember now, this is social engineering. That they know this is it's a hustle. It's the pimp gang. Y'all know we talk about game, all right? And so that's what their low ability, because that's very unethical. That is the most unethical thing you could do, is to step outside of science or whatever, step outside of math, step outside of nature and start creating stuff like 4C and LOC method and mixing oils together, and oil absorbs in the skin. Low ability or competence. And a task. You guys see the task? Is hair is the task. Shopping is a task. Click is a task. Subscribe is a task. Follow is a task. Thumbs up is a task, by the way. Hit the thumbs up button. We're doing social engineering right now. Overestimate. Cheryl just said there's that fancy wordsmithing, their knowledge or skill, like two-strand twist. That is you can't get no more over. Ain't no skill and no two. Come on now, dog. Y'all just come on. Y'all don't really read this stuff. Taking 2 strands of hair, and the 3-year-old can do that. I mean, come on, guys. That's not a skill set. Okay, it's a task. It's a task. It's right in there. But they're overestimating that task of taking 2 strands of hair. And so Cheryl just broke down the Dunning-Kruger, and now we're moving over into the low maintenance with the natural, the notion that a low maintenance natural hairstyle, is that a fact or a fiction? And so here we go. So let's see. So now that we broke it all down to we got some questions in the chat. We got a little bit carried away. All right. Our de facto producer says question. Let's put it up here, Cheryl. All right. She says, all right, smarty pants. Okay. She says, what about people who went natural to get away from consumerism? Ooh, that's a good word. What angle influence do you think that was happening there? That's a good one, ain't it, Cheryl?
That is a good question.
Can we just start with, we're gonna do the dichotomy. We're gonna break it down. All right. So Cheryl, let's go first with who went natural. Let's start with what is who went natural. Well, where does that fall into our social engineering Dunning-Kruger,
Right. When you say went natural, assuming that they were a hairstyle that was, because we're not everyone that went natural hair care, right? Hey, what's up, classic? Hey, boo bee. Okay, assuming that, right? But we're assuming that everyone was straight hair or relaxed hair when they went natural. So to assume that, but everyone did not come from there that went and came into the cult. You see what I'm saying? So we're assuming that they were high end, high salon, high, press and all this relaxer. Not everybody did that. Going into what we call went natural just means that you're doing your own hair. Does not necessarily mean that you went and let me just say this, because natural hair started so cultish. It started with so many rules and don't do this and no heat, don't do this. And it has so many, that's a whole movement that actually never happened before.
But that's the Dunning-Kruger. You're right. You're in the height.
It never happened again.
You are. When you say went natural, right, that's the social engineering. Because if it grows from your scalp, guys, it's the only thing that wasn't natural was what? A wig.
Now, if you say you went chemical free.
Free, like
That is
virgin.
free of the cult of natural hair care movement, Y2K. The Y2K natural hair movement never happened in the history of mankind. Now, have we worn unchemically treated hair? Yeah, that happened because it was called the Afro natural. We cut it off and made it a natural Afro. That is naturally curly Afro hair. That happened, but the natural hair movement as a cult in the Y2K, the 2000s, that shit had never happened before.
And you also got to think, like, before relaxers, right? They had the hot comb, right?
Right.
And before the hot comb,
That
they
was
had
natural.
to.
That
they
was
was-
natural.
Right, they was braiding it up.
That was
you
natural.
didn't go
Natural.
natural. It was you didn't go anywhere. You just changed the hairstyle. They were called hairstyles. So we moved into the new language. You see what I'm saying? So
Right.
and
Second part of
maybe
her- Mhm.
go ahead.
No. Then, because to prove our point, they actually got more into consumerism. The natural hair person got more product, not less.
Yeah. Remember back in the day, you had
And not more. Some grease,
one product, hair grease. One.
and some right. You didn't have a lot of product.
You didn't have a lot. You either had hair grease or hair spray, maybe a gel, the dippity do, you know. But that was
So
really
Asper's
it.
question is quite fascinating, actually.
It's
Just
out.
the question
Drop the bomb.
in itself is a conundrum. It is a wow.
You dropped the bomb on that, Esther. You came out the bomb on. You came out the gate. Let me just drop the bomb. Hold on, that's a good question. Hold on, that was a fake bomb. Wait a minute. Let it. I gotta light it up. I gotta light it. There you go. All right, there you go, right there. So we got to break these things down so you guys can see in her question. What about the people who went? That right there is your social. That's your Dunning-Kruger.
Big time.
That's the biggest example of Dunning-Kruger. You can't go because what they're doing is they're acting like Cheryl said. It never happened before. We had periods of time where we didn't use chemicals. And then remember, who was the first person to do chemicals, right? What was her name? Queen what? Was it Nefertiti that made the blue dye? Well, I think it was Nefertiti. She made the blue. They was coloring their hair in Egypt, remember? They was doing this stuff out. They was using urine and cow dung and flowers and making stuff up. They was coloring hair in antiquity, okay, before Christ. Then they came out and said, but we just didn't see. They never stopped coloring hair before we existed. They was doing it all over the continent. And then we just kind of moved into modern times and the language changed. So when it says people who went, what they're throwing out what happened before. And you just don't have to do it. So when they said natural, sure just said the natural came from the chemical movement in the 60s when the perm and the conch, and then they said, let's cut it off. And now here comes the Afro natural in the modern day times.
And it's full funny, you know how when conservatives are talking about today's MAGA compared to Ronald Reagan, and they would make Ronald Reagan a Democrat. This is how crazy off to the goddamn right.
Girl, you better cut that line out. Are they really?
Right, that's what they say. They said shit. Even George W. Bush would probably be a Democrat at this point. He would be liberal. The point here is that all of the going natural to get away from consumer. Just the question, and it's an excellent question because it's packed with the very same.
Yeah, because the goal is to make you think that if you don't have a chemical, you're going to be a different kind of a consumer. What kind of consumer are you going to be? A natural consumer. No, you're going to be a consumer that spends more money because when we grew up, the only thing you bought for your hair was grease. That's it. you had different names of grease. They frothed it. Some people churned it. You know, I don't know. Cheryl, they did all kinds of stuff with grease. But at the end of the day, it was grease. It was just grease. And then they heated it up.
Well, LB got a question for you.
All right. Okay, Esther. So that was a good one. So the natural hair, the way to get from it, the question about people who went natural to get away from consumerism was manufactured into the lie, and then they drove them straight to where Cheryl said, to this aisle to go spend some more money. That is an excellent question. And again, that question is a classic example of the Dunning-Kruger effect. So the LCO method is wrong. Is that the next question, Cheryl?
Oh, no. Luan said question. What is a good low maintenance hairstyle for her? But the LOC, okay.
The LCO.
Because I keep.
Okay, let me look it up. They got so many. Hold on.
No, you introduced me to the LOC.
Yeah, I know. It's the LCO method. Okay, they got the LCO method. Okay, here we go. So here we go again. All right, let me just hide that, and then let me put it up. Sure.
Low. It's conditioner, oil, or something.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, I'll keep putting on. I don't want to shoot. All right. Okay, so here we go. So the LCO method, because they change it so much, you know, this ain't my lane. Okay. All right. So here you go, Cheryl. Let me pull up so you can see it a little bit. It's liquid cream oil method for low porosity hair. Followed by, wait a minute, it's applying a water-based liquid.
Okay, so
followed by a cream, and finally a lighter oil as a sealant to lock in moisture. Okay. Again, social engineering, Dunning-Kruger. This is made up. This is low functioning, low, let me look that up. Go ahead, sir, break it down.
What's the difference between LO and LCO?
It's the order. You can go liquid oil cream. You see it?
Okay. And who made that up? I'm just curious.
Let me see.
Nobody.
I don't.
Anyway, right. The LOC, LCO doesn't work. I don't even understand how that you guys even fell for that one. That is definitely social engineering. And let me just be clear. It is so, and the funny thing about, again, Esther's question is because it was designed to get you guys to do actually what you guys say you were going natural to do. And that is to buy product. In fact, all of these LOCs, CEOs, and all of this other craziness is designed for you to go to the drugstore.
Yeah, look at the products they want you to buy. So they said a water-based liquid first. So a water-based liquid would have to be some type of a leave-in conditioner. That's money. A cream, that's money. A lighter oil, that's money. That's consumerism at its finest. Per Dunning-Kruger, this is a task overestimating their knowledge or skill. The task is to shop, to buy a water-based liquid first, followed by a cream. That's a task. And finally, apply. That's a task. And then again, it's overestimating. And Cheryl, this will never make cannot lock in moisture because of what? Where's the science that says you can't lock in moisture with liquid, cream, and oil?
You cannot lock in anything that does not have a way in. That's number one. Number two, but hair is meant to be hydrophilic. It's a protein. You cannot moisturize protein. It just doesn't. You got it's I don't understand how you can wet it. But I know that's
what is it? How about we see this, Cheryl? What is it about this method that you guys really think works? How about we say that?
Right.
Because Trish said yes, it's the order you apply. So what do you think?
It's the order. Now, let me just say this. What is the first thing that everybody does?
What do you mean? In
Okay,
this
let's say
example?
you got dry natural hair. Dry
Mhm.
natural hair. You guys go into the shower. What's the first thing that everyone told you to do first?
You mean in this direction with the LCO method?
Right. Wet it.
Wet it, right. So they said apply water-based liquid.
Okay. Right. Water. Right.
So
Right.
you're saying a leave-in conditioner is water.
Right. Mm-hmm. Hold on.
All right. We see you, Gigi. We see you. We're gonna get to that as well. Hold on 1 second. Cheryl had a. So again, I'm just gonna say this. I can't reiterate it enough. The LCO method is the height of the Dunning-Kruger
Sorry,
effect.
that was I got my door open and it looks like the welcome wagon, but
Okay,
that was the Verizon man. He apologized.
that's okay.
But go ahead.
All right. So they say it's the order. So the order,
First thing, water, right?
right?
And what
And
does
then,
water do?
what does water do, chat?
What does water do? It evaporates. Okay.
Uh-oh.
So you guys think that you're going to put oil on top of the water bead, which is going.
No, you're not gonna put oil. So you're gonna put cream.
Oh, you said LOC, right?
Yeah.
Or,
Next comes cream. The oil is last.
Okay. All right. So you put another water base. So you put something a little more what we call molecular weight. Okay. So you got some polymers and mixed with a water base. So you put a lotion. That's your conditioner, right?
That's two waters because he just told you.
So you
The leave-in conditioner is water, and the cream also has water. So you're going water flash 2 times. Keep going. Okay,
Right.
I got you.
Then the water out of that's going to evaporate because air is going to get to it. Okay. Then you guys put in what we call a surfactant.
A lighter oil. So oil is a surfactant.
Oil's molecular weight is heavier. I don't know why y'all keep thinking that oil is lighter than water. Oil is heavier than water.
So it says that the oil can seal that in, Cheryl.
Okay, so because water is a smaller molecule than oil. Water is this big. Oil is this big. You guys think that this molecule is going to lay on top of the small one and somehow force that water where? Now you already know water and oil don't mix. So oil cannot be a driver to water going or permeating, laying on top. Now, the logic is the Dunning-Kruger effect.
Y'all following us? Please say yes. Pause, Cheryl. Wait a minute. We got to make sure you cannot fall for the low maintenance stuff. And these are the modalities that they're using. Are you guys following what Cheryl is teaching you guys? It is just a simple fact that oil and water can't mix off the rip. Just make this shit the dumbest shit that people say about. Now, we're not trying to be insulting, but this is very aggravating because it's costing people money and time and a lot of emotional strife. A lot. Go ahead, Cheryl.
Okay. Now, you guys seem to think that after you wash something, you need to put a conditioner on it. Okay? Now, I may ask you guys a question. When you guys wash your cotton shirt, you take it out of the rinse and you put it in the dryer. What do you put in the dryer to make your clothes soft?
Take a few moments. Answer that question.
Okay.
Repeat it again, Cheryl. Repeat it again.
You wash, you put all that water and soap. It went through the spin cycle. You take it out and you get ready to put it in the dryer. And then you guys tear something off and throw it in the dryer. You close the door and you dry it. What is that? is called a dryer sheet. Okay? A fabric softener sheet, exactly. Okay? Now, why is it called fabric softener? Okay? The only thing that fabric softener can do, because you guys can feel that with your hands, right? It doesn't go through the fabric. It is there to keep the what? Not to protect the cotton and the clothes from the heat. That's not what the sheets are for. It is to keep the electrons and the protons from electrostatic. That's why they're in there. The dryer sheet keeps.
Go ahead.
What you saying?
I said you can also put the liquid, the fabric softener in the water. It's going to do the same thing. Is what I'm saying. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, but you don't put it in the dryer part.
Right.
You put the sheet in, but the sheet has conditioner on it. But the conditioner is not there to protect your hair from the heat. It's not there to do anything. It is there to offset the hardness of the water, because the water makes the clothes hard, right? And all we're saying is that none of those stages in the L or the O or the C or the C and the O stage, none of that prevents moisture leakage. None of that, because water evaporates, oil creates a barrier, and the lotion is so neutral that it doesn't do either way. But the goal here is to ask the person who creates these things, which is the Dunning-Kruger effect,
right?
What
and you can tell
reasoning and where did the research come from, so they can explain how this works instead of just throwing it at you at the consumer body, and the consumer body is just as confused.
Yeah, you can't even source this. This is virtually unsourceable. No scientist, no molecular biologist, no whatever would ever take claim to this, because you know what they're talking about is, when you put, the stuff on your hands and how it feels. And Cheryl taught us that in Afro Hair Science, which is why we want you guys to tell your hairstylist to come and meet us at the Beauty Under One Roof, which, by the way, tonight I will be on their Instagram channel being interviewed by Erica. So after we go live, 9:00 p.m. Our time here, Cheryl talked about how when you touch something and your brain, translates that, if I'm saying it correct, Cheryl. So if you took some oil and some cream and you put it on your hands, if your hands were dry, it would give you the sensation in your mind that you just moisturized, or your hands, but you just coated them, but your mind interprets that.
But as long as it's wet, it's going to give you the feel of soft
and moist.
But once it evaporates and it dries, that was the real surface in the first place. The wetness of that, just your fingertips, that is what gives you a different message. And when people manipulate those two different sensations, sensationalizes it and puts rhetoric to it and dogma and all kind of what we call social engineering, they've put words together for a particular impact. And then you come with people who do the Dunning-Kruger effect and tell you that, then start gaslighting you and telling you that you're feeling something that you're not, and you're doing something that you're not, and you're doing this and doing that. And then you don't know what to believe after 1 or 2 years that you don't see the results.
Right. And at that point, now you're in what we call, what's that word when you just automatic default? Now you're in default mode, because now you're just doing it because shit, I've been doing it for so long. I ain't about to stop. I mean, I've been putting oil and water on my hair. My mother used to dip it in the brush. So now you don't want to let it go. But again, if we go back to the Dunning-Kruger effect, like Cheryl said.
And just let me just add something.
Go ahead.
The blowout professor is a Dunning-Kruger. He is a
I was going to get to that next. Yeah. I was going to use that. I was going to get to that next. Okay, we're going to get to that one next and pull that one up. But again, we just can't say it enough. It is the psychosocial mind schmuckery that's taking place via the Dunning-Kruger, because it says where people with low ability, you cannot find an author of the LCO method. No scholar in any discipline of oils and chemistry, hair, what they call it, cosmetic chemistry. They're not going to buy this because, like Cheryl said, when you get to the next part, right, the competence, because it's the mind. It's your mind, you think, but like Cheryl said, once that lotion dries, guess what? That's the original state of your hands. You can't have moist hands all day long, guys. It won't work. But temporarily, it will alleviate that tightness. And it's the same thing that's happening on your hair to your skin. So, what I'm thinking now, I could be making this up, Cheryl. I think that they are applying that sensation of what happens when you mix oil and lotion onto a wet hand, and they're applying it to hair. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But I could.
And
There's no author to check me to tell me if I'm wrong. But if you guys find the author of either of these methods, we will have them on the show if they will come on. Go ahead, Cheryl.
Right. And there's nothing wrong with superfluous or superficial or lubricant in the crevices of your skin, and then you feel a sensation. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about, at the end of the day, nothing is for in terms of those three different substances: a liquid water, a liquid cream, and a liquid oil. Those things are, especially when they are start to solidify inside the jar itself, that means those molecules are very large and they're not going anywhere. I'm sorry, they're just not going anywhere. But anyway, go ahead.
Okay. There's a guy on YouTube, the blowout professor, who claims that when you cut hair, it means the ends are full of holes that let out water. So you need to leave in an oil to trap the water inside the hair. What the French toast is that? That should be illegal. Should I pull up?
So in other words, and this is so unfortunate. Hair, once again, please don't take my word for it. Hair, when you cut it, it is dry. There is no tubular and tube from your hair follicle, from your scalp, leaking out water. There's no such thing. Please stop. There's no such thing. You cut a feather and the feather is dry inside. All hairs, fibrous proteins called keratin, they are dry. They're hydrophobic. They're not hydrophilic. Okay. And so that's proteins have to repel water in order for them to be stackable. That is what we call strata. And they build from the top, from the bottom up. This stays the same and it keeps going up, 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 up. It doesn't grow out this way. It grows from the bottom up. That's what makes hair long and grow. That's why the first hair out will be the hair on the end 6 years later. It doesn't go anywhere, right? And they end up weathering and you have to trim them. You see what I'm saying? I don't understand why we're going against nature, like we're going against science. You know what I mean?
Again, it's just a Dunning-Kruger. I was trying to find an image to give you guys a visual of what Cheryl is saying. This is the closest one that I have right now, where it says the end is split. So here, if you see the little pieces, these are your cuticle layers. It looks like shingles on a roof or something, or fish scales.
They're not going to heal themselves because it's dead cellular. It's cellular death at that point, which means it's at its last gestation.
Right. Once that end is split like that, Esther, all you can do is cut it, because, like she said, you can't take my hair and dip it in water and it's going to suck it up.
Right. Once my fingernail splits and once it chips, I'm not going to wait until it mends itself together. I'm going to cut it. down to the lowest part and try. I'm not gonna, because the only way that you can do it is silk wrap it and then shave it and see if you can shave the cracks down to where they're even, and then try not to split further in your fingernail. But you're not going to. That's not how keratin, fibrous protein works.
Yeah.
I just don't think, I don't understand why, if someone is a veteran and has been doing hair as long as the blowout professor. And at the end of the day, he feels that no one's going to call him out. That's why he says that dumb shit. That's why he says it.
Yeah. I will see if we can get him on the show. I will go on his channel and see if we can invite him on. We did invite African Hair God. He agreed to come on, but we reached out to him. He did not respond. So just to let you guys know, we are talking to these people. But this is part of that Dunning-Kruger effect, because we would have to take each of their statements and we would have to break it down and have them use the science, because we've got to liberate, we've got to liberate you guys out of this. So here is a video as we move forward into this conversation. These are some excellent questions. Please give yourselves a round of applause. And our virtual co-host is in the chat saying now is definitely, we have to take a moment out, Cheryl, because she says for all these comments, and we pretty full, the building is full. So right now is the perfect time for you guys to do this right here. Cheryl's going to show you guys how to do it. I'm just going to hit the button. Go ahead, Cheryl. Show them how to do it.
Pampa me on, pampa me on.
So at the end of the day, the social that was the cameraman. That wasn't me. Yeah, like we in the studio, Ralph, stop hitting the button. Yeah, so at the end of the day, when you move into all of this stuff, it's all going to be associated with one thing and one thing only: BUY. That's your Dunning-Kruger resultant effect.
Bye.
Yes, they want you to spend a lot more money. So here you go. She says there are chemists on YouTube saying leave-in cream oil works. And when you say work, meaning what? If you put it on top of the hair, again, it will make the hair feel.
We're not talking about wetness. We're talking about wetness in terms of oil drying, water drying, lotion drying. Lotion, when it put it this way, if you take the top off of an oil, what will happen to it? Absolutely nothing. You may slow it down a bit. Take jar off of water. Nothing happens. Take your jar off that lotion, that cream, that conditioner. It's going to get a dry layer on the top, and it's going to be cakey, waxy, or whatever the case may be. That's all you're going to get. These are not meant to travel in a strand that is meant to not be wet. You can only wet the surface.
Yeah. If the hair isn't chemically altered, it really isn't going to feel wet. So when you say the saying leave-in cream oil works, if you could expound on that just a little bit more, that will help us out.
And works. And what does work mean?
Right. Yeah. That's what I was at. Yeah. So if you could help us out, let's see what she's saying. Okay. What's up, Tristan Natural? There are people buying all of these new bonding products thinking they can repair split ends. Yes. Again, Dunning-Kruger. If you guys, when you go to the store, Google Dunning-Kruger, or you go online. Maybe you're not in the store. Maybe you're about to click. Before you click, I want you guys to take yourself and start off with cognitive bias. The bias already is we want you to buy something, which is it's not illegal. We're not knocking it. We just want you guys to understand. So do you need to buy it?
It is consumerism.
All right. It's nothing wrong. We're not saying, because I want to sell you something. I got some shampoo I want you to buy because it cleans your hair. Okay. So we just want you to know there's your bias. where people with low ability. Who is selling you this bonding product?
And
Who is?
let's be very clear, guys. All bonding product, all of the others, see, repair means forever. Bonding could be temporarily.
Mm-hmm.
So when you guys see there, the social engineering, bonding products that repair. Bonding, that's like saying buy chewing gum that stays sweet. Yeah, but it don't stay sweet after 5 minutes. It stays sweet from 0 to 5, but not 5 to an hour. But it did stay sweeter up until, it's all in what they're just saying. Hey, it just lasted 1 more minute than the regular gum.
All right.
So the 1 minute becomes the whole marketing,
Right.
social engineering thing. Not the first 5, not the hour that you're still chewing gum that's still sweet and fresh and menthol. It's the extra minute that it stayed sweet and before it went sour. And that's what we're trying to tell you, the difference between bonding. It could be a bonding product, but it only lasted a day.
Right, until you washed it off. Right. I remember when I
So
first my
is
Instagram channel got shut down. The very first time it got shut down because I said that scientifically won't. Listen, guys, go to Chemist Corner. If you guys don't, it's nothing but these are Rhodes scholars. These are real people now. And just join that community, Chemist Corner, and just watch them rip these people, an asshole, okay? Because chemists will abuse their power and use that to manipulate the low-hanging fruit. You got preachers that do stuff like
not
that.
in the room.
Sorry, preacher.
Remember,
I shouldn't say that. I'm bad. I'll take that back.
Science, right? Science, and then you got technology, and then you got the prototypers, and then you got the testers. And the testing, that formula goes to the production. They calibrate it from just that small jar of that prototype, and then into gallons, thousands of gallons, so they can put it on the market, right? By that time, those people do not know the people on Madison Avenue that's in the top penthouse in the marketing department. They are to sell a product. The other ones are to make it. They don't cross. They're not the same people.
So she says, remember the original comment from our Canadian babe was there are chemists on YouTube saying leave-in cream oil works. So Shirley and I said, can you define what this works mean? And she says, they say it seals in moisture. Now, you do understand there are degrees of chemistry, right? You got, high school chemistry. You got associate's degree chemistry. You have bachelor's, you have master's, and then you have PhD, and then you have application, all of those. If you feel comfortable, vet that chemist against other chemists. And I promise you, they're going to say no. But Cheryl said you will get the sensation of the oil or the cream filling in those dry layers on the skin. And then your mind is going to interpret that it sealed. That's the selling point.
Right then and there, it may be something, but it cannot stay in that state.
Because remember, guys, it's wet. So once it dries, if you put lotion on your hands right now, it's gonna feel really good. But y'all
it's the
know
wet part of it feeling good. Now,
right? You put it on your feet. You know how you put that cream on your feet, and you can't even walk in your sandals. You be sliding and everything. And by the time you get to the nightclub, you be like, dog, catch a dog. You be doing a line dance. Where them fans at? Your feet ain't sliding the sandals no more because the lotion has dried up. So they're selling you on the temporary,
it's only like 3 minutes that they're selling you.
Okay, it's like that.
It's that 3 minute.
Orgasm, okay.
But I got a question. I got a question.
Orgasm. All right, y'all, it's the orgasm, okay?
Right. I got a question.
Go ahead.
What is moisture to a surface that is meant to repel water? What is moisture to a surface that is to repel water? It is to not be water loving, hydrophobic. Proteins are hydrophobic. So, why would that hair need moisture? If it is designed to be dry, if it's designed to do that, what is the relationship with the buyer, with moisture, and the fact that the hair scientifically doesn't need it?
Yeah, I'll wait for that.
What is that relationship? It is called consumerism. That's what it's called.
Because you guys know, if you look at Cheryl's hair, my hair, Trish, can I put your picture? Let me put up Trish hair. All right, that's a perfect picture. Okay,
Beautiful.
do y'all really think Trish hair, or I don't care if it was a wig or real? I'm just saying, okay, Trish, I ain't gonna try to, but let's just use your hair as an example. Do you really think that Trish hair is supposed to, like, when you touch it, it's supposed to feel moist? Yes or no? Let's wait right there. I'm going to use Trish's image. Do you think Trish hair in that state should be moist, or do you think in that state it should be dry? Okay. Let's wait. Let's give him a few minutes. Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding. She said, it's real, baby. Thank you, Trish. She's just gonna say yes and no. Come on now, y'all. Come on. Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding. We love y'all too. By the way, hit that thumbs up button. Come on, y'all. Oh, y'all, the comments are coming through. Yes. Stay with us. We appreciate all of this interaction. This is America's favorite podcast about Afro hair. That's right, the Afro Hair Science YouTube channel. The Afro Hair Science podcast, live and direct. The questions they coming through. Come on now. Come on.
Keep those on.
Okay, all right. See, they coming up with all. Look at Jeanette, nourished. Y'all some fun. Hey, Trish, see what you done started, Trish. Trish, let me give you a round of applause. Trish done came in the chat and she done got the fire started. Let me use her picture. Say, baby, that's natural, baby. Come on through. Hold on, let me give her. There you go, Trish. Give me clap. Because y'all ain't getting this no place. Baby. All right, sure. Let me go through some of these comments so you can help. Again, we're telling you guys, the father of all of this, what's his name, guys? Edward Bernays. It's called public relations, aka social engineering. Okay. And how do we prove the social engineering? The Dunning-Kruger effect is how we're demonstrating the social engineering of the topic. Low maintenance hairstyles, fact or fiction. And you guys are already seeing it's definitely falling into the fiction category. All right. So here we go, Cheryl. Here's what they have.
Trish got to the bottom of it.
Wait a minute, hold on. Let me go through them one by one. They didn't take the time to answer. Here we go, Cheryl. So right. GG2 says yes and no. Mika, we got the pseudo killers on deck is in the house. I love when the pseudo killers come through. I feel really special. Thank you so much. Mika says it should be moist. All right. Also, Live Work Clean says dry. LB says time consuming. Okay. Hold on. Let me see. Let me come down here. Okay. Moisturized. Jeanette says nourished. So for the most part, they think this hair should be moist, is what they're saying.
Now, the problem with moist, if we go to a cake, is it wet or is it dry? People will say it's moist because moist does not have anything to do with product. It has everything to do with texture. They want the texture to be soft. That's what they mean by moist.
Where's she at? Hold on. Come on, baby. Come on. Where my boo-boo at? I saw you, boo-boo. Let me find it. Where she go? Damn, where it go? I saw it. She said it in there. Chris, comments coming through too fast. Shit. Okay, here you go. I found it. I do not think it's supposed to feel moist like wet. I think what is meant by moist is soft.
Right. So that is unfortunately the exploitative operative word, because they don't mean wet. Because what? Wet is the first initial feeling of any type of cream, any type of substance, right? Hydration is something you guys couldn't feel anyway, because you have to have hydration inside. But unfortunately, putting something on the surface does not deliver hydration. So you guys can't mean the same thing. What you mean is exactly why we were switching the shampoo technique, is because water robs you of the feeling of soft. And water is actually
what's making the hair hard.
Putting it on, right.
And also, you got to understand this too, okay? Afro hair in its natural state now,
unenhanced.
It's supposed to have some
dry feeling.
It's supposed to have some of that, okay? I mean, asking Afro hair to be soft is like asking concrete to be asphalt.
Come on now. Come on.
It's like asking a leaf
it's acting like it's supposed to be grass.
It's like a, you know how leaf is like crunchy, you know? I want my leaf to be, no, you want to dive in the leaves and you want to hear that, you know? That's what leaf. So the Afro is, it can only be, remember now, it's so many hair variations that I can't even capture one. But for visual, just think like Kunta Kinte, LeVar Burton's hair. Okay.
Which all of us got. Or
it's
that
not going.
Was so early.
Can you take your hat off, Cheryl?
Huh?
Can you take your hat off? Now Cheryl's Afro hair, you can get that a little soft, okay? But she ain't got Kunta hair, okay? Now we're not shaming.
She ain't got no Kunta.
She ain't got no Kunta now. It ain't like, because you know with the peppercorn, ain't that what they used to call it, peppercorn, okay? What's the people that we called again? They're not. What's the people the Khoi side? Okay.
Right. Okay.
The Khoi people. Okay, these are cousins, right? Okay. So if we look at their hair, right? This is a Khoi side. Let me just kind of show it right quick, because I don't want you guys to get confused with trying to make hair like this, quote unquote, soft. All right. So this type of hair that we might call Afro hair, okay, that's supposed to, when you touch their hair, it's going to have like a gritty or it's not going to be soft. Now I have Afro hair too, not like Khoisan, not like Cheryl, but the hair, all of our hairs will get what they call what? Frizz. So
now, but I will say,
go ahead.
This is tricky. The problem with these people here, their hair actually, once you pull it apart and you pull it, it is the silkiest, straightest hair you've ever seen.
Mm-hmm. Right. But this is in its unstretched.
What I'm saying is, but see, what the optical illusion is going to fix your brain.
Mm-hmm.
Because you think, I don't give a shit what you guys say. I don't care how Afrocentric you are. I don't care how much you love being black. I don't care. You guys see a curl, you gonna think dry. You guys see straight silky hair, you're gonna say moist. Just stop doing it, unless you gonna go through a serious, brainwashing session. you think the hair on the screen is hard and crunchy because the curl in and of itself.
It's just lying.
Now, if you rub your hand over their head in a broad stroke, you may feel lots of texture.
Right. That's what I was looking for.
Right. Lots of texture. That means dry.
Mm-hmm.
The less texture is the soft thing. And because soft usually means akin to softer, straighter textures.
Or healthy. Go ahead. You can say it, Cheryl. That's that healthy. That's what we told y'all. Stop falling for that good health. Is my hair healthy? Shit, it's on your damn head.
Right. And we have to just admit that we are where we are marketed to, and the words we use to talk about ourselves are not words of our own.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, these are not words. Because if you asked, we went here and we spoke their language, and we asked them about some moist hair, they would be like, "What you talking about, Willis?" They don't have a clue. Like, what's going? Don't y'all got something else to do in America than me having the podcast and talk about some, So that's why I use the example, like asking this hair to be soft. It's like asking concrete to be like asphalt. And it's state like that, like short when you run your fingers across it, that is how the brain with the words that we have.
Yeah, anything that goes like this in Black folks' mind means dry.
Yeah, it needs moisture.
Texture.
Them people need some moisture in their hair. Right. They hair so
anything that's smooth in our brain means moist.
Right. Okay. Y'all see the Dunning-Kruger again. The Dunning-Kruger would take the koi people and try to convince them, just try to sell them people. You think you can go over there and try to sell them some moisturizer? I think not. They would not buy that.
And the moisture that we would be talking about would be trying to make their hair do something that it doesn't naturally do, which would be, in my point, I don't know how you guys got into natural in the first place, because you guys are always trying to make the surface of your hair strands do something and behave ways that it's not supposed to. And that is, to me, diametrically opposed to going natural. I don't know why that would even be a thing. Why this generation is so obsessed with length, but want to deny the straight hair beauty standard.
But we'll deny this. Y'all know I gotta put it back out here again, right? 1 minute. This is what they really want, sure. 1 minute, because this is what they really want. I gotta do it. This is what y'all really want. You have to admit, hit that thumbs up button.
Damn.
That's what y'all want.
That's what y'all been trying to do.
Dr. Morrow is the one who coined the term moisturizer. For that's where
moisturizer.
You can trace that word back. You can source that. We got an official Suda killer in the chat that always talk about sourcing. You can source that word. Moisturizer was a product for the California curl to keep that chemically treated hair moist. And the people with the LCO and the LOC and the CIS and the ABC tried to cut off the Dr. Morrow. So they try to copy. You cannot jack this man for his stuff, because we caught y'all out here trying to steal his stuff. The only way you go moisturize some hair is you put a jerry curl in it, because now that fabric has been altered. You got to
Yes.
put monofilk, a cold wave perm, okay? And it's been altered. You got to put something on it, okay? So, but you can't do that. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It, reformed it, and put it back into a pattern. So when it receives a water trigger, it goes back to the roller formation and not the birth afro texture. It's as simple as that. But you got, now we're not talking you into no process. We're not saying that. We're just saying this is where you can get the word. Lola, you did it.
Yeah.
Man,
there you go. There you go.
Source, you did it.
Right. And so the looking for hair that's low and you got to do what the fabric requires. We use the Khoisan people. We use the LCO. We gave you just about every fabric in between. Right. You do what the fabric requires, and there is no fabric on the planet that's low or high, except when you spend some money.
And low is thinking to let it do what it wants to do. But because you guys like to snatch every strand in the same ponytail, y'all want the edges laid down. You want this to be perfect. Because let me tell you something, my edges are not perfect.
Y'all know mine ain't. I don't have baby hair, so I ain't got nothing to slay no cat. My baby hair left when I was a baby. It said bye bye.
I have a very natural hairline. So yeah. I don't like to slick mine down for any reason.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. And here are some modalities that we see people are using to try to just make this low maintenance. Look at this one. Here you guys go. Check it out. I'm trying to make it low. I ain't gonna even take it down. Here we go.
Because I am a queen, I'm not the average girl from your video. My worth is not determined by the price of my clothes. No matter what I'm wearing, I will always be in the on my face is where it's supposed to be. And I know I created it and make no mistakes on me. My feet, my thighs, my lips, my eyes, I'm loving what I see. And I can have a girl from your video, and I ain't built like a supermodel, but
okay, we do not own the rights to India Irie's song, but it's such a beautiful song, Because I Am a Queen. They said, we know what we ain't. Now, to them, that's low maintenance. To shampoo the baby's hair, leave the twist in, don't take it out. Shampoo it with the twist in, condition it with the twist in, take the twist out, and then shampoo, conditioner, right? She had 3 products, and then she ended up with a broken comb, okay? So she had 5 products to put 2 strands of hair together. That's consumerism at its finest. And that's your natural hair movement under the guise, remember, of what? Social engineering birth. The father of it is Edward Bernays, called public relations. And how do we prove what Edward Bernays has done? Via the Dunning-Kruger effect. They will make you think this is what you need. They will make you think that's low maintenance. No, that's backwards. Yeah. That baby hair, at some point, she gonna have to do what with them twists. Take them out and wash that baby's hair. It takes time. It can't be low. If you have a lot of hair, you got a lot of work to do. If you have less hair, you have less work to do. So the low maintenance is just, it's just
low maintenance. I
you just falling for the okie doke.
What do we got?
I think you can get this about as low as you can go. What you think, Cheryl? This is about low maintenance you can get.
That's a video. That's a shot.
She said, I'm just going to braid it down and put some wig on it. That ain't that wig. But the wig got maintenance too, y'all. But that's what they're pushing as low maintenance. Let me show you again. This is low maintenance hair.
That's a video. That's a shot.
Low maintenance means I don't want to have to do my hair.
I wasn't gonna say nothing, but Talia with G posted that, and again, we're kind of speechless. The chat just got real quiet. That's why they don't have none. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
You don't do Serena. Hey, Serena let them. She let them post that. Now that was her permission.
No, absolutely. No. It has nothing to do with her.
All right. I mean, we're just saying.
But
She don't want to do it.
She lives a very high, impact life. I get it.
Yeah, she can't.
But
She in tennis.
bare minimum, you should not go. That is one thing that a Black woman should not forego and say she doesn't have time to do it. I don't know how that it's.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, as we wrap this up, washing your hair with your twist in, your cornrow braids in, you get it. Your kids are at camp. They got to get the sand out. That's okay. Till they get home. You got to take them braids down, them twist out. Y'all gonna have to wash them kids' hair, okay? Madam Flair, I love you, boo-boo. And we're not trying to be insulting, but caring for your hair is like caring for your teeth, your vagina, your ears, your nose, your buttocks. The hair, the follicle is an orifice, it's an opening, okay? And that's just what it requires. So if you're in between, like I said, you're swimming, you're on, whatever. You got to twist in. At some point, you got to take that stuff down. So low maintenance natural hairstyles, fact or fiction. At the end of the day, it is definitely fiction. We appreciate you guys. We're going to be back next week, and we're going to dissect the locks. We're going to go through we're going to start off with the starter locks. First, the decision to lock. We're going to start off with the decision to lock. We're going to start off with, the starter locks and what's that one? The one you go back and forth locks, the sister lock. And we're going to find out locks are those low maintenance, and that's the hairstyle we're going to go to. This was a wonderful discussion. Thank you so much. We're going to be back on Thursday, guys. That's right. We're going to shout out. Remember, we're going to give a super duper shout out to one of our subscribers in the chat. We are going to drop the link in the beginning, the first 15 to 20 minutes, to give you the opportunity to come in. You can say something. I like this channel. It sucks. It don't hurt our feelings. Just keep it 100. It's okay. Come on and join us. We're going to shout out, a subscriber, and the topic. Whoops! Don't hit the wrong button, Dosha. The topic is benefits of CBD and THC in the barber and beauty industry. We're going on Planet Pluto Studio and talk about what can we use. How can these ingredients, will they help us behind this chair, or is this just another bunch of mumbo jumbo hocus pocus coming out of the benefits of marijuana? CBD and THC for hair professionals. Okay, Dr. Joy is going to break that down. I'm going to hop off of here because in about an hour, I think at 9 o'clock EST, and if you're on Central Time, it's going to be 8 o'clock. Okay, at 8 o'clock if you're in Chicago, you know what I'm saying, CST. I will be on at 8 o'clock, but on this time it's 9. Cheryl, what time is that for you? 4?
It's 4 now. It's 5.
Okay. So it'll be 5 for you?
Oh, no. It's 6.
I'm sorry. The time goes 4. Sorry, guys. Okay. All right. So if you're on the West Coast, it's 6 o'clock. All right. So check us out. I'm going to be with the one and only Erica Coleman of Beauty Under One Roof.
Show them what it's all about.
Yeah, it's going to be about me and that hair color, y'all, all that good stuff. And so get ready. Come on, guys. And let's y'all go eat some more of them barbecue. Eat some more of that barbecue, then come back and join us over on Instagram. And don't forget to share and subscribe to the Afro Hair Science YouTube channel. We appreciate everybody who rocked out. Trish and Esther and LB and Sandra and Wike, Madam Flair. We had a bunch of cousins come through. Cece, Gigi, Jeanette. Make sure we get everybody super.
Man, I miss
Y'all did
Sandra.
good.
Sandra
We
E.
said Sandra up in there. Your cousin was in there. You had a cousin there. Where'd she go?
Classic.
Classy. Yeah, Classy was up here rocking it out with us. Jeanette was rocking it out with us. Mika.
Jeanette, what's
Yeah,
up?
Live Work Clean was rocking it out with us.
Yeah.
All right. So we appreciate you guys very, very much. We'll see y'all in about an hour or so, right? Over on Instagram. We're going to talk about that education. And let me close it out with that that commercial, right? We got to do a shameless plug. We can't talk about the Dunning-Kruger effect and not have the Cheryl Morrow and Ladosha effect. Here's our version of the Dunning-Kruger effect. Y'all know what we say when we're signing out, right? It's a whole lot of peace, a whole lot of love, and a whole lot of hair. But remember, if you ain't got it, don't want it, can't stand it, you got them bald spots, hell, you're trying to cut it off anyway because it don't really matter that much to you. We say, we feel you. Don't even worry about that because all hair, even if you don't have it, is beautiful too, and so are you. I'll see you in about an hour over on Instagram. Sure, you all are in a bag of...
Oh, sis, you know it.
Professionals, psychologists, innovators, and icons. The Afro Hair education you've all been waiting for happens this September at the Beauty Under One Roof's Afro Hair Summit 2025 in Houston, Texas at the Hilton North near Bush Airport. 2 dynamic days of Afro Hair education featuring the world-renowned cosmetic trichologist Cheryl Morrow and certified master colorist Ladosha Wright. This summit includes a marketplace, Afro Hair fashion show, panel discussion, day party, and concludes with a featured documentary film by Michael Sterling, American Curl, The Rise and Fall of the Curl. You can receive free shuttle and breakfast using the Beauty Under One Roof code. Visit us at beautyunderoneroof.com to get your tickets now. #BeautyUnderOneRoof. Deuces.